Hey y'all, welcome back to Segments with Sherry. Today we're going to be making one of the most comforting, budget-friendly, easy casserole dishes you could make. It's called stick of butter chicken and rice, and it takes very limited amount of ingredients and it's going to be so simple. Let's jump right in. As y'all can tell, we're in a different kitchen now, a much smaller kitchen. We are in our RV. We did proceed with selling our home and we did go full-time traveling the US in the RV. So the RV came with this sensor microwave convection oven, which I do not care for. It does not cook very well. So we ended up finding this Ninja. It does like 12 different functions, air fryer, baking, and this thing works amazing. But there was one issue with today's recipe. The 9x13 baking dish that I had like really large, I don't know what you want to call them, sides on them, and they would not fit in my toaster oven. And I refuse to cook in here unless I absolutely have to, especially for rice, because I have tried it before in the convection oven and it did not come out well. So my husband says, I will go, well, why don't you tell him what you did, babe?
So I said, well, I got some metal snips. And now it fits like a glove. See? And she had to order a new pan. But
yes.
Anyways, for today, we got this pan.
I did order a new pan that'll be here on Wednesday. But I've got to be very careful because the edges are extremely sharp. But my husband, he always comes up with a solution. High five, babe.
High five.
You're amazing. All right, so first thing first, to the bottom of our pan, we're gonna add 2 cups of white rice. So I've already got my white rice measured out here, and we were just gonna add that ever so gracefully here. To your rice, you wanna add 8 ounces of Baby Bella sliced mushrooms. To the mushrooms and rice, we're gonna add 2 cans of beef consomme. We're just gonna pour that right on top, just like that. So first can, here's the second can. The next thing we want to add in is 1 can of French onion soup. Again, we'll just pour that right on top. I have 2 pounds of chicken here that I've trimmed, and I'm going to season this on both sides. We're going to start with seasoning with salt. Y'all, and don't be shy with these seasonings. Next, we're gonna add some pepper. And then I have paprika. I'm not really measuring, just
Trying to kill her husband.
kind of eyeballing it. Next, we're gonna add some onion powder. Y'all, I like my food to be well seasoned. And lastly, we have some garlic powder. We love garlic, so I'm not going to skip on that for sure. Now what we have to do is kind of rub that in. And we're going to flip it over and do the same thing. We're going to carefully move the pan back over here. Our 9x13 that my husband did his handy dandy work on. We're gonna place, and by the way, this is 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I don't think I mentioned that. So we're gonna add our 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs that are seasoned right on top. Try to use the fork so I don't have to wash my hands again. Alrighty. Looks amazing. So I've got 1 stick of butter here. And we're gonna use the whole stick. It may sound like a lot, but trust me, mixed in with all these goodies, the rice and everything, it's gonna be so delicious and creamy. Now we're gonna top it with these butter slices. And like I said, it's 1 full stick of butter is what you need. Clearly, that's what's in the name as well. just thought of that.
Where's the chocolate go?
On the side. Wash my hands again.
All right, then where we put the chocolate? Can I put chocolate in it?
I don't think so. In your dreams. Now we're gonna take some Parmesan and Romano cheese, or just Parmesan cheese, and we're gonna add about a cup. And I'm just eyeballing this again. So you guys are welcome to measure, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. Looks like about a cup to me. What you thinking, babe?
I'm thinking that doesn't look quite like a cup to me. Thinking we need a little bit over here, a little bit over here. Don't let her tell you she cooks all by herself.
Too cute. All right, so we're gonna cover this with aluminum foil, bake it at 350 degrees for about 50 minutes, and then we will uncover and cook for another 10 to 15 minutes. So let's get this covered. Oh, I don't think I made that quite long enough. Oh yeah, I did.
Careful on the sides.
Yeah, being careful on the sides because I do tend to cut myself. So we'll bake this at 350 for about 50 minutes. Then we'll come back, uncover it, cook it for about 10 or 15 more minutes, and we'll add these crispy fried onions on the top. This is not part of the recipe, but I do love these, and I just think they'll taste so delicious. So that'll be totally optional. All right, so we're gonna press power. We're gonna go to function bake, which it's already there. Temperature is 350 degrees. And time that we need is 50 minutes. All right, so that looks good. We're gonna let my husband put this in the toaster oven so that I don't cut myself. All right, and we'll press start. While our chicken's in the oven, we thought we'd do a life update with y'all just to let you guys know what's been kind of going on in our lives, and just why we haven't been posting as frequently. We're going to try to get back into a routine now. So I would say back around October timeframe, we started packing up our house, and we had a house, a garage that was 1,200 square feet. We had a pool house
It was
and a barn.
1,500 square feet.
Oh, 1,500 square feet.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of stuff that we had to condense down to a storage unit and an RV. So that took a lot of my time because my husband was still working, so I had to do a lot of it. He would help on the weekends and the evenings and that sort of thing.
I didn't help much on the weekends and evenings because we were also renovating a fifth wheel, getting ready to move into before we decided to go to this thing. So
yes,
so we spent a lot of time, put a new roof on it, upgraded the batteries, and put solar panels in it, and changed out all the appliances. We painted it. We had we just completely went through that thing and got it exactly the way we wanted it,
and then sold it.
and then we moved to Florida in it, and then while we were in Florida, we found this thing and we sold it.
Yeah, it was neither one of us had really done any type of camping except tent camping, so we thought fifth wheel was the way to go, but for our family and our needs, we just feel like the Class A is a lot better. The animals hated moving into the truck and moving out of the home. They were not happy. But here, we'll show you guys what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
they are loving life. Let me show y'all what they're doing right now.
Yeah, so Toby would go the whole way down the road, and I was like, throw that cat out the window.
Let me show y'all Callie. So we got our little Callie girl basking in the sun. We got Otis laying on the couch, loving his life. He's living the best life, y'all.
Toby's right
And then we got our little Toblerone. He's sitting in mommy's chair. So yeah, that was one of the things. So we ended up moving out of that fifth wheel and into the Class A. And that was right about the time I was going to start posting again, whenever we uprooted everything and moved again, and that was a mess.
Which that was a nightmare in itself.
It was a nightmare.
We're thinking this is going to be easy,
so
just
simple.
from the fifth wheel, or from the fifth wheel to the RV. This is going to be nothing.
I mean, I didn't even have anything boxed up. I just thought, oh, this will be so simple. We have such so few amount of things that we'll just move from one RV into the next. Woo!
You just don't realize how much stuff you have.
You literally do not realize.
Yeah.
So then we finally got settled in here, and everything seemed to be organized, and I felt good because I'm a very organized person. And all of a sudden my mom started getting sick.
Well, before that we were dealing with trying to sell the RV, trying to sell the fifth wheel, and we had to sell the truck. We had to buy a car. We had to get that set up to pull with the tow dolly, and it was just one thing after another.
It was a nightmare. So time consuming. On top of this, our son was in Fort Jackson. Was it Fort Jackson? Our son was in Fort Jackson, and I had taken over paying his bills. I was paying my mom's bills. I was paying our bills. We're trying to get used to the lifestyle. I'm planning our trips, and I'm finding out you had to do this like a year in advance. So it was just a lot going on. And then whenever I finally got the hang of things and started feeling like I was adjusted, then my mother started getting sick. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever had to deal with a loved one being in and out of the hospital, but I'm very close to my mother. We speak, 2 times a day, honey?
At least.
Yes. And she is 81 years old. She is older, but regardless of the age, it's never an easy thing. So I had a lot of evenings and days where I've spent crying, and it's been a very emotional time for me. I don't wish this on anybody. It's hard whenever you think, I can't even think about my mother just not
she's gonna
being
live
here.
She's gonna live to be 110. That woman's a tank. Her heart's been at like less than 20%.
Her ejection fraction.
For like years.
Well, she was at 35 until the last.
Yeah. But she just gets out there and does her gardening and travels around, does what she wants to do, and I mean,
she couldn't do that.
She's a tank.
The last until recently again.
Yeah.
Because she was in and out of the hospital so frequently.
She'd get out of breath, and
she was having spells that they didn't know if she was having a stroke or what was going on. But that was a very, very difficult time in my life. Whenever she would get in the hospital, they thought that they had, figured out what was wrong. They put her on medications, change her medications around, and then it wouldn't even be a few days later, she'd call me not able to speak, and I don't even want to go into all the details. Yeah, I'll get very emotional. She was having
episodes where she would feel like something was off in her leg or something, and then her
leg would be numb,
and then she would just black out, and she wouldn't be able to remember.
She couldn't speak. She would lose her ability to speak, and that would take hours to come back.
Yeah,
and she just kept telling me, something's not right, Sherry. Something's not right. Something's not right with me. She could tell something was wrong with her, and it was scary.
But then she'd go to the hospital, and by the time she got to the hospital, she was already coming back to being herself, and so they're like, oh, you probably had a little TIA or something, and they said that the first few times, and then
and she needed all these appointments, and through all of this, she was having trouble with being able to do things that she always did, like schedule her appointments and things like that. So I had to step in, and of course family always has to be there for their loved ones whenever they're older, to let doctors know somebody cares. So I was, on these doctors, making these appointments, making sure they were looking out for her best interests, and it just consumed a lot of my time.
She would get on every single time that the doctors would be in with her mom. She would want to be on the phone and telling the doctors what she was
her
seeing.
History. So I apologize, guys. It's so hot in here. We have the air off because anybody who has an RV knows how loud the AC can be.
Yeah, the AC is pretty loud.
I'm just dying. It's probably 80 degrees in here right now without this air on. But anyways, long story short, it's taken a lot of time away from us. Just all these different events going on in life. So hopefully the doctors have figured out kind of what's going on with my mom. I'm praying, and things will get a little better. She actually flew out to see us whenever we went on our cruise to Alaska. So we went on a cruise to Alaska from June 13th through June 20th. Our son and his wife got to come, and my mom and her husband flew out and watched the animals for us. And I mean, literally 2 weeks prior to this, we were thinking she wasn't even going to be able to come.
Yeah, we didn't know if she was going to come or not.
Because she'd been having so many problems.
But it was going to be either they show up at this point, or we're going to have to put our animals in boarding, and we didn't want to do that because we were going to be gone a week. And Otis, he's he's glamping out here. He's living the lifestyle. He'd be traumatized forever.
Traumatized.
If he was locked up in a cage somewhere. So
luckily they got to come and we spent that time.
Yeah.
And then they stayed for another week after we got back. I wanted that quality time with my mom, and it was just so great. And then she got back, and she seems to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, she
so
does.
I'm just praying to God that it stays that way, because I would say there was probably a good 3 or 4 month stretch where she was not doing well.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where I literally was trying to prepare my heart, because I just did not think that I was going to have her for a lot longer.
She's 80.
Don't even want to think about it.
Was she 82, 81?
She's 81.
81, so yeah.
Yeah.
But she to me, she seems like she's still doing, I mean, she's doing a lot better, and she's one of those people that just won't sit down. So I think that the fact that she won't just sit down, she'll do fine. I give her to about 110. I think she'll be good. We'll prepare around then.
Yeah. So so now we're in the RV life. We're traveling the U.S. We started in Florida. We've kind of worked our way around to Washington State, where we took a cruise out, like we said, to Alaska. And right now we're in Wyoming. We just finished visiting the Grand Tetons and Jackson Hole, which were absolutely amazing.
And that stuff's going to be on our Life Hitched Up channel that we have, our travel channel.
Yeah, we've got a travel channel that we started called LifeHitchedUp. Ugh. We've got a travel channel that we started called
Life Hitched Up.
I want to say Life Duh.
Life Hitched Up.
Yeah.
And it's right now we just got a bunch of shorts on there, but we're going to start doing some longs on there. But we're just trying to get that channel started. So you guys go check it out and subscribe. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll put a link below. And that includes all the places we visited, and we show our RV in there and that sort of thing. So if you're interested, definitely give that a view and subscribe. All right, without further ado, we will get back to cooking. We've got 25 minutes left on this, and we will take this out and add in our crispy fried onions and cook it for about another 15 minutes. Do you have anything else you want to say, babe?
Yeah, so for the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to stop the video and try to cool this place down a little bit.
Yeah. All right. And by the way, I just want to say thank you to all of those who have continued to follow me and support me. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Love you guys, and hopefully we'll be back on track with a regular schedule now. All right, it's been 50 minutes, so we're going to pull the aluminum foil off. We're going to add these crispy fried onions on top and put it back in for about 15 minutes.
Oh, you just pulled that off.
Ooh, this is already looking delicious. I'm gonna add these little crispy onions on top. I'm not gonna add the whole thing, I'm just gonna add a few.
Don't burn your hand.
I know, I'm trying to make sure I don't. We're gonna pop this back in the oven for about 10 minutes because the rice is already pretty much done. So it only needs about 10 more minutes just to brown up a bit. Okay, we're gonna plate this up and do a taste test for y'all. This looks so delicious. The chicken looks so perfectly browned. The rice just looks buttery and moist. I am excited for this one, y'all. Hopefully this is a hit because this was an easy dish to make. Time for my husband's favorite part of the day, the taste test.
Always my favorite.
Always his favorite.
All right, let's see. That's super good.
10 out of 10 or?
Oh, definitely 10 out of 10. This is amazing.
Oh, really?
Even Otis is wanting some. Here we go, baby. Yeah, big bite. Yeah. See? Totally amazing.
This is so good, y'all. The onion soup adds just the right amount of savory flavor to it. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfection. And then that butter adds creaminess to the rice. It is so good. You guys definitely have to try this one. If you give the stick of butter chicken and rice casserole a try, don't forget to let me know in the comments. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Oh, and one more thing. The crispy fried onions, amazing on top of this. But if you don't like those, you can admit them. They're not part of the recipe. It's just something I added. Just wanted to throw that in there. Bye, y'all.
All right, today we're doing stick of butter, stick of butter, Chicken and rice casserole. Stick of butter, stick of butter.